The relentless Dawn drifted through the void like a relic from another age. Its hull, scarred by decades of service, bore the patina of countless battles and the weathering of deep space. To most observers, it appeared to be nothing more than an outdated frigate, a museum piece that somehow still limped through the galaxy on aging fusion drives. Captain Elena Vasquez stood on the bridge, her weathered hands gripping the tactical display as the enemy Armada materialized on their sensors. 200 ships strong, the hegemony fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, their sleek hulls gleaming with fresh armor plating and bristling with the latest plasma cannons and quantum torpedoes. "Captain," her first officer, Commander Hayes, whispered urgently, "we should retreat. The Dawn is just one ship against their entire battle fleet." Elena's grey eyes remained fixed on the display. "Have they sent their usual ultimatum yet, Hayes?" As if summoned by her words, the communication array crackled to life. The holographic image of Admiral Karath materialized before them, an imposing figure in the crimson uniform of the Hegemony Navy, his cybernetic implants glinting in the bridge's dim lighting. "Attention, obsolete vessel," Karath's voice dripped with disdain. "You are harboring the rebel scientist, Dr. Marcus Chen, and his illegal research. Surrender him immediately, or be destroyed." Elena stepped forward, her expression calm despite the overwhelming odds. "Admiral Karath, I'm afraid Dr. Chen is under the protection of the Terran Alliance. I cannot comply with your request." Karath's laugh was harsh and mechanical. "Protection? From that rust bucket? Captain, your ship is older than some of my junior officers. My fleet carries enough firepower to glass a planet. Stand down, or I will demonstrate the futility of your position." "I'm sorry, Admiral, but I must decline." Elena's finger hovered over a seemingly innocuous control panel. "However, I appreciate your concern for our welfare." The transmission cut abruptly. Through the viewports, the Hegemony fleet began to advance, their formation spreading wide to encircle the lone frigate. Weapon systems powered up across the Armada, creating a light show of charging energy that would have been beautiful if not for its deadly intent. "All hands, prepare for combat," Elena announced over the ship's intercom. Her crew, only 43 souls, moved with practiced efficiency despite their fear. They had served with Captain Vasquez long enough to trust her judgment, even in seemingly impossible situations. "Captain," Dr. Chen's voice came from behind her. The elderly scientist had emerged from his laboratory, his lined face creased with worry. "Perhaps I should surrender myself. Your crew doesn't deserve to die for my research." Elena turned to face him, her expression gentle but firm. "Doctor, your work on quantum consciousness transfer could revolutionize medicine and save billions of lives. The Hegemony wants to weaponize it. We won't let that happen." The first salvo from the enemy fleet lit up space around them. Plasma bolts and missile barrages streaked toward the relentless Dawn, enough firepower to vaporize a dozen ships her size. Elena's finger pressed down on the control panel. "Initiating Project Lazarus," she announced quietly. The transformation was instantaneous and impossible. The Dawn's scarred hull began to shimmer and shift, as if reality itself was bending around the ship. The ancient armor plating fell away like a molting skin, revealing something underneath that defied comprehension. Where once a battered frigate had drifted, now hung a vessel that seemed to exist partially outside normal spacetime. Its hull was composed of a material that absorbed light rather than reflecting it, creating patches of absolute darkness, punctuated by veins of energy that pulsed with the rhythm of a living heart. The ship's size remained the same, but its presence had become something vast and terrible. The enemy barrage struck the transformed vessel and simply ceased to exist. The plasma bolts didn't impact or explode. They were absorbed into the dark matter of the hull, as if they had never been fired at all. Admiral Karath's face reappeared on screen, his composed demeanor replaced by shock and growing terror. What? What are you? Elena smiled sadly. We are what becomes necessary, Admiral. Dr. Chen's research into quantum consciousness wasn't his first breakthrough. 20 years ago, he discovered how to merge organic consciousness with dark matter constructs. The Relentless Dawn isn't just a ship anymore, she's alive. The entity that had once been merely a frigate began to move. It didn't accelerate in any conventional sense. Rather, it seemed to fold space around itself, appearing instantly among the enemy formation. Tendrils of dark energy erupted from its hull, each one seeking out a different target. The hegemony ships began to die, not destroyed in explosions or overwhelmed by firepower, but simply unmade. The dark tendrils touched each vessel, and they ceased to exist as coherently as if they had been erased from reality's equations. 200 ships, thousands of lives, an entire armada gone in moments, without even the dignity of debris. Only Admiral Karath's flagship remained, held in stasis by the entity's will. Your fleet is gone, Admiral, Elena's voice carried across space, somehow audible despite the impossibility. Return to your masters. Tell them that some lines should not be crossed. Tell them that mercy is a gift that will not be offered twice. The flagship vanished into hyperspace, carrying its traumatized crew and their terrible news back to the hegemony. In the silence that followed, the Relentless Dawn slowly resumed her original form. The dark matter faded, the living consciousness retreated into dormancy, and once again she appeared to be nothing more than an aging frigate drifting through the void. Dr. Chen stared at Elena with new understanding. The crew. Do they know what they've become? Elena looked out at the stars, her expression unreadable. They volunteered, Doctor. Every one of them. When you're fighting for the survival of everything you hold dear, the definition of sacrifice tends to expand. The ship that no one feared continued her journey through the darkness, carrying within her hull the dreams and consciousness of heroes who had chosen to become something more than human to protect humanity itself. And in the depths of space, word began to spread among pirates, warlords, and tyrants alike. Beware the ship that looks weak, for sometimes the most terrible. Power wears the most humble disguise.